Welcome to another edition of Cooking with Luke and Friends. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Welcome to another edition with Cooking with Luke and Friends. Stay tuned as we go over making kebabs. That's right, beef kebabs. Now, with beef kebabs with hummus, it's going to be a few items that you're going to need. You're going to go ahead and need 2 tablespoons of olive oil. You're going to need cloves, garlic. Get mine like this, mice. You're going to need 2 cloves, but basically you just need 2 tablespoons of that. You're going to need half of lemon juice. You're going to need half a teaspoon of cumin. I got cumin seeds here. You're going to have half a teaspoon of cinnamon. You're going to have half a teaspoon of salt. 1/8 teaspoon of pepper. Basic pepper. 24 cherry tomatoes, which I do not have on display, but you will see at the end because, like I said, we're making kebabs. 1/2 of a pound of sirloin steak that needs to be cut and trimmed. There you go. 1.5 cups of hummus. Some people make their own. This is what I went with. Pretty good stuff right here. Love it. I got the spinach hummus here, so. And you can have cilantro if you want to for garnish. I'm not going with that, okay? So the idea is that we're going to combine these items into a bowl. The first 7 things that I mentioned, the earlier things that I mentioned, I'm going to put in a bowl here to start off with the tablespoon of olive oil.
They also said they haven't sent out the distress call because it had given away their position.
And the idea is to marinate this. You're going to marinate this stuff here for about 15 minutes or longer. And you remember what I talked about in my previous videos. If you have not already, make sure that you go to the other videos. And also make sure that you subscribe as well too. So what we're going to do here is actually go ahead and put in our garlic. I love garlic. I mean, garlic's very good. It's a very good cleanser. I mean, as far as making sure that it's good for your body. I mean, honestly, it's a lot of benefits of garlic. Then you're gonna put in your lemon juice. Okay. Half a teaspoon of cumin. I have cumin seeds, guys. That's in there. Half a teaspoon of cinnamon. And you probably, what? Cinnamon? You're about to find out, guys. Cinnamon is very good too. Can't get enough of cinnamon, to be honest with you. Your salt. Half a teaspoon of salt. And just see that by eye. I like to see by eye. And we're gonna go ahead and put in some pepper. Add a little bit more to spread it out. And now with this part right here, since you got the ingredients in, you stir it up in a medium bowl, right? So you want to make sure you stir it into a medium bowl. You want to have that in there where it's in a medium bowl ready to go, which we do have here. Just stir it up. Then you put a little bit in another bowl, so we're going to have another bowl here. smaller bow. Smaller glass bow.
We were wondering if you noticed any strange behavior from her or
As you see.
Strange behavior? What's going on?
So let's go ahead and start the spearing.
How she translates the words into what we found on the ship.
It ain't gotta be a slow spear, but you gotta get it going, guys.
So they crashed.
Tell us what happened. According to this, they were attacked. There was an accident on board. What kind of accident?
And then we're gonna toss in tomatoes. I'm gonna put a little bit in here.
It looks like some kind of catastrophic malfunction.
Not a whole lot.
There's a massive depersonalization, and the ship went down.
Maybe that bigger modules damaged
And it looks like it's not a lot,
If not,
but it's more than enough, guys. More than enough to do what you gotta do here. Because you're gonna add tomatoes in it. And as you add your tomatoes, add the beef to the remaining marinade, and then let it sit in room temperature for about 15 minutes, okay? So we're about to do a next clip of that to show you. Okay, guys, we're back. You know what I did? You see me with different clothes. So I got my little sticks that you can get at the store. And what I did is basically let me boil down to this. You know what I did? I have basically waited overnight to let these things marinate very right. And a lot of people don't do that. And for me, I love marination. That's what makes the food have more flavor, more desire, more passion. So now what I'm gonna do now is go ahead and get the tomatoes prepped and get everything else going. So just stay with me on that. I keep it overnight. The minimum is 15 minutes, but for me, I wanted to do overnight. So you need to turn your oven up to 400 degrees. You're gonna be using the oven to grill. For this session here, we're actually gonna be using one of these copper blades that you can get at Walmart as far as it does grilling, different types of things that you can do. I love using this grill basically. It's basically a rack. As far as you don't have to be spraying it. If you don't have this, you can make sure you have to get some either wax paper, or I recommend just getting aluminum foil, laying it over, and getting you some cooking spray, olive oil as preferred, to make sure that your meat doesn't stick to your rack. But before you even do that, you're gonna have your little squirrels, as they call them, squirrels, or sticks. I call them little sticks. You got, excuse the pronunciation of my Carolina thick accent, but basically, you put the stick on the meat. You put your stick on the meat separately from your tomatoes, because the meat's gonna cook a lot. Well, not the meat, excuse me. The meat takes a little bit longer to cook properly than the tomatoes. So I put about 6 of them on here. This calls for a serving of 5, but again, it depends on how many people you're gonna bring over. Because what you're gonna do also too, how some people do it, they transfer their meat and mix it up with their tomatoes. And I will show that as well too. And you're gonna do a rotation about 9 to 12 minutes. Well, that special rack that I have over there, it's not required of me to flip it as often. The recipe calls for flipping about 7 times. But for that rack, I would say probably about 3 times, to be honest with you. And that rack can also be purchased in Walmart, you know. They have this over at the cooking area or the checkout line. I've seen that before too. So we got our meat on a stick, prepped. So the next thing to do is this: make sure you wash your tomatoes. I have cherry tomatoes. Cherry tomatoes are going to be required for this. I'm not going to use all the tomatoes. You use roughly 24 tomatoes. Because I have other recipes that I'm going to use for my tomatoes here. And a little bit more than 24 tomatoes. But we make it do what it do, right? So you wash them off. And you repeat the process that you did with your meat. Now with this, these are gonna cook a lot quicker. As you would suspect, cooking these tomatoes on the grill, you're gonna grill them until they heat through the skin and are able to be plucked. 1 minute per side, so that means you're gonna be doing this for about 2 minutes. And it's gonna be probably pretty quick. So what I recommend also after you get your meat done, because you're gonna do this as 2 separate things. Get your temperature down to like 350 in the oven. Once you get that taken care of, go ahead and make it happen as far as getting your tomatoes onto the grill. You can also use a separate grill, or you can, I would say use a separate grill if you have. If you can't, just transfer the meat off. If you got enough room, you can use this as well too. So some people don't know. So I love tomatoes, I love eating tomatoes. And these are very sweet tomatoes. So it shouldn't take too long to do what you have to do with these. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to just keep up with this, you know. I'm about to eat my food because I haven't ate all day. Been busy, guys, you know, been busy cooking, talking to people. And if you don't know already, please, if you haven't already, go to the little red button that's called subscribe. Click on it, subscribe to Cooking with Luke and Friends. I am hosting a special with Cooking with Luke and Friends. I'm going to invite a few of my friends over for a crab boil. It's going to be very good. Now I'm going to show you some tricks that I learned in Louisiana on how to make a very delicious meal for your friends. You're going to invite some friends over and we're going to have a good time. It's going to be filmed, of course, and I think you're gonna get a lot out of it. So you don't want to miss out on that one. I might be doing different specials based off of it. It's gonna probably be like a 3 or maybe a 4-part series where I might make some desserts for Cooking with Luke and Friends for that crab boil. I might be making desserts. I may be making some sides. And I may be making some drinks. It's like a 3 or 4-part series. So I want people to be entertained and enjoy themselves and have a good time. Additionally, if you have not already, you can go to Facebook and go to the name Cooking with Luke and Friends. Cooking with Luke and Friends is ran by me, and basically we have everyone go there and they can catch all the recipes that I do. They can do recaps on it. They also get additional guidance on instructions and health menus, all types of things that you need to make sure that you're on the right path. So let's go ahead and go over to the oven and stick it in, guys. Oh, by the way, before I do that, this is how your tomatoes should be. You're gonna set those on the side. You're not gonna stick those in first. You're gonna stick your meat in first. So let's go over there and check that out. Now one thing, I'm back, guys. Hey, one thing that you do want to take into consideration is that you have the sauce that we had from last night. you're gonna sprinkle this onto your tomatoes when you stick them in the oven. That's gonna give it that little tangy flavor that you're gonna have, and you can transfer it over. Now, you don't feel like doing all that transferring, you don't have to. You can have a side of tomatoes and you can have a side of meat right there. You just can go with it like that. But you want to properly do this the right way. If you're not grilling out, and this is perfect. One person asked me for a summer recipe on what I have here. But the summer recipe, this would probably be one of those ones that requires you to use a grill. But if you're in an area where it's not summer or whatnot, you can do this comfortably at your house and it's no problem. So make sure that when you do this that you have the proper safety, everything going in place. You don't want to be trying to rush it. You want to have it on a proper sequence. So again, let's go back over the recap. You want to go ahead and cut up your meat. Make sure you have all your seasons that I mentioned earlier today. And additionally, once you have all those things taken care of, you make sure you put them on your sticks, and then you put your tomatoes separately on the sticks. The temperature for your meat should be about 400 degrees, about 7 to 9 minutes. You want to be flipping over depending on what type of material that you're using to hold your meat on. If you're just a regular aluminum foil plate, you're going to be flipping it about 6-7 times. If it's something like what I have, what I showed you, where I told you where to get it, it's probably going to be about 3 times, you know, averaging about 3 minutes per flip. Additionally, once you're done with that, you need to bring the temperature down to 350 degrees for your tomatoes. And you're going to make sure that you put your sauce on it. If you have a brush or you just put a spoon over it, you know, just to coat them, do so. Make sure that you get everything taken care of. If you need more material, you just add more olive oil. If you think, hey, all those tomatoes that Luke had in there is not enough to cover it, which is not. So that's why I add a little bit more oil, and you add a little bit more garlic, and then you make sure that you douse it over the tomatoes. For those, it only gonna last 1 minute. You flip it for each minute, each side 1 minute, and that's regardless of what you have as far as your heating element that you're using. That way you don't burn your tomatoes. You want to make sure your tomatoes are nicely charred or whatnot. So make sure that you take care of these things. Also, additionally, for the tomatoes, you want to make sure you douse them with water, the sticks as well too. You just want to make sure you have everything properly set. That way you don't have any issues, guys. Again, we're going to keep going forward with this, and we're going to show you the end result. So stand by. Well, guys, we're back again, and we got our kebabs and things of all that nice, neat stuff. So let me show you how everything came out. Very delicious, very good. Let's go ahead and zoom in on that camera for a second, guys. Let's go ahead and zoom in and show everyone what we have here. So, guys, as you see, we have our tomatoes over there. Char, I had to keep them on there a little bit longer. 350 was just the perfect idea to make sure everything was done. So I kept it on there for roughly about 4 minutes, to be honest with you guys. And with the kebabs, I thought I was actually at a Med or a Middle Eastern restaurant eating it. Last time I had kebabs taste that good, I was in Oman, and it was very delicious, guys. So now we're about to do the test. We're about to taste the kebabs. So it's time to taste. Let's go ahead and do it. Very good, very delicious. Again, this is something that if you was wanting to cook out for your friends and we're trying to keep it very modest and very healthy, this is perfect thing to do. Doesn't take too long. The prep time, roughly about 30 minutes or so. But if you really want to marinate and have that flavor that you would if you went to a Greek restaurant, Med restaurant, whatever it may be, I recommend marinating your meat for 1 day. Doesn't take that long. It's worth the effort. Again, if you got valuable information from this episode, please like and subscribe and comment. Please spread the word about this. This is called Cooking with Luke and Friends. This is a very good show. This is very Positive, very informative. I want people to know that they can come here anytime that they want to, if they want to learn about cooking, if they want to know about different styles, healthy styles, and fun styles as well too. I just want to keep it real with you. I just want to make sure that everyone understands that it's important that we know how we're eating and what we're eating and what's the benefits of it all. But for this right here, total benefits as far as 25 grams of fat, protein 39 grams, net carbs 1 gram. So take that home for facts right there. Oh, I forgot one more thing. You want to make sure you have hummus. I do have hummus. I didn't show that for this event right here, but just make sure you have hummus and eat it with this. You won't have a hard time with this. I mean, perfect meal to eat anytime. You know, this is specially designed for summer, but you can make things work around. Trust me, I did make the workaround on this. Perfect. Again, if you have any questions and comments, please feel free to comment on this episode. You can go to Facebook and check out my Cooking with Luke and Friends group. You just have to request permission to join. I will invite you in there. You definitely want to check that out. We have all the recipes, all the things that you can catch up with, and there are going to be more episodes coming out a lot faster than expected. I thank everyone for doing this, and I welcome you to this challenge of healthy eating and lifestyle. All right, guys, till next time. Again, my name is Mr. Luke Brooks. Have a nice night. I'm about to eat this. It's so good. See you.